And this topic is actually, well, we're not moving that far forward. We're still talking about Unreal Engine, but this time, Alex, this is another sort of,
Oh my
sort
God.
of enigmatic docket
Yes.
edition. Gears Ultimate Edition, effed nearly a decade later.
Yes, thank you. I did
So
write
this
that.
is quite interesting because you did share some assets with me, and my first reaction to it was, did the Coalition really do this?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us more?
So I got pinged, I think it was on Reset Era, about people. There was a thread about replaying Gears 1 in our year, like, well, how would you replay it?
What, the year of our Lord,
The year of our Lord,
2024?
yeah. 2024. I was going to say that, but I stopped myself.
I did it for you, don't worry.
And there was a question like, okay, should I play Ultimate Edition on Xbox? Should I play the original PC version? Should I play the original Xbox 360 version?
Well, that's an interesting question because you basically lambasted the PC version in your Retro PC Let's Play.
Yeah.
Lambasted.
Yeah, I think it isn't so great, but I think now with like modern hardware, you can push at least through the performance woes for the most part. Which is so a slight recommendation towards that, except it's attached to games through Windows Live and all these other things that are not so great. And also requires some very specific things to install, like the original disk and patches so that it actually runs on modern Windows. You have to run it in Vista SP2 back compat mode, all these other things. Okay, ignore that for now. But the whole point was another question in the thread was, well, what about Gears of War Ultimate Edition, the Coalition's original game they made, and there was a PC port, right?
Yeah.
And because the original Gears of War Ultimate Edition, I believe, is still stuck at 30 FPS on Xbox back compat.
It is, yeah, I believe so.
And it's also still 1080p with FXAA, I believe. And so it's not the greatest presentation now of days. And okay, well, what about the PC version? Surely that should run really well now, a decade later almost. And the thing is, it doesn't. And that's really messed up. It's really rare to see this kind of issue with a game where I loaded up on the 7800 X3D, and originally I played it at 4K 60, and I was like, this seems kind of fine. Then I unlocked the frame rate, and I realized it was just barely above 60 FPS most of the time, unlocked.
Same.
On a 7800 X3D. And it would dip below into the 40s, actually, in certain sections on a 7800 X3D. Not at all GPU limited in any sense of the word. It's like 20% of the GPU is being touched, probably. And this is messed up. And apparently, according to PC Gaming Wiki and a lot of other threads you can find online, it used to run well, but then after a Windows 10 update, it stopped running well.
Okay, right. That's interesting.
This is bad, I think, because usually a game, this is a Game Pass game, by the way. So that's how I played it. I got it working. A rare moment for Game Pass on my end. And I downloaded it.
Again, Alex.
And the only like, it is like, I'm on a 7800 X3D and it's dipping into the 40s at some point. You just like look in one direction and it's 200 FPS, and then you turn around and it's like 70-ish or so. And that's on a 700 X3D. If you're on anything lower, which a lot of people are, it's going to be into the 40s or 30s maybe in such an instance for a game that came out in 2016. And it just doesn't have any consistent performance throughout the entire game. And I really think there should be something done about this. Because the Game Pass game is pretty broken, that is on the service for PC, and it's one of their own first party published games, and it most likely requires probably a simple fix. And I really hope that me mentioning this, maybe there's a little bit of grassroots here to get some information or at least some sort of promise or something out there about this game, because I think it's really bad to have a game on a service being sold that doesn't work very well at all. So yeah, if you're watching this, if you can, make a tweet about it to your local Microsoft representative or to Gears of War Coalition. Hey, fix your game. It requires an EXE patch or something like that. But I couldn't get it working well at all. It's really bad.
Okay, my question to you, Alex, is this concept of the Windows 10 patch that effed it up.
Yeah.
Is it internet folklore, or is there actual factual basis for that being the problem?
So I don't have any factual basis for it, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's complete folklore. And the thing is, the unfortunate thing is, I never played this at launch, but I remember it had the reputation at launch of being a stuttery, not great port. It's one of the first DX12 ports to PC.
Right.
And I don't know if it was always this way and people just didn't talk about it so much back then, but
Yeah.
it is now a thing that people talk about.
Okay.
I don't remember covering this one. I covered Ultimate, but just on Xbox, I think.
Yeah.
It was one of my first earliest voiceover videos.
Yeah. And yeah, I know what Rich is thinking about. But the question is like, I don't know what's responsible party at this point, but I just really want it to be fixed because I think the Ultimate Edition looks pretty great. It's cool. And
Except the rain.
Yeah, except for the rain on the third level.
Third level, yeah. It's bad.
I think, yeah, this series requires a better legacy, especially with E-Day coming out now. And I don't know if it means them reporting the game to Xbox Series X or just updating it with a patch, but I would really like to see this game not running like this now.
Okay. So going back to the original point of what is the best way to play the original Gears, it's not the original PC version, right? I believe there was an Xbox back-compat enhanced version that runs pretty well. I think, is it 4K 60 at this point? I'm not sure.
Of the OG? I don't believe so.
No, Gears of War Ultimate was the game they showed us for resolution boost, remember?
Yeah, but I'm talking about the original because they obviously did. They did upgrades.
I think Gears 1 is still original res.
Right.
I think Gears 2 and 3 are now 4K.
Gears 2 is 4K 30 and Gears 3 is 1440p 60. Right?
Right. Okay.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Gears 1 is the same, but is it 60? I actually don't remember.
I don't recall it being 60, honestly.
I don't know if it was updated at all. I'll have to check.
But either way, I mean, technically right now, I'd say maybe play the original via back-compat. And if you can find a DVD of the original Gears for PC, it'll have some minor issues, but it can run at 60 now. So that's another thing. The one issue, though, is that the HUD scales with resolution, and it wasn't made at all for 4K. So it's pretty annoying. Like, the HUD is really small. It's like really, really small.
Okay. Well, there is FPS boost for the original Gears of War 1 series. It's running at 60. I'm looking at the video now.
That's good then. In that case, that also would be. I mean, the art was designed around the resolution, so it wouldn't look too bad.